Yo, what is up guys? Rob here with another Call of Duty Warzone video. Today I'm going to be sharing my opinion on whether playing with a keyboard and mouse is better than playing with a controller for Warzone. So let's jump right into it. So first off, we're going to be talking about the pros and cons for both keyboard, mouse, and controller. So first off, I'm going to be talking about the pros of keyboard and mouse. So I think there's more customization for keyboard and mouse players. If you go to the options tab, keyboard and mouse tab, you can see you can set your mouse sensitivity to whatever you like. You can buy better mouses that have more DPI or lower DPI depending on uh, what fits your play style. And then you can go into the advanced tab and customize more stuff right there. And then the same thing with the aim down sight, mouse sensitivity, just a lot of customization. So I think that's one huge thing for keyboard and mouse. Uh, more more so, you can set keybinds as well. You can choose to move forward. You can create any key you want. I have it as W, and I just have the standard settings because these are the settings I'm comfortable with for when I used to play multiplayer games online. So I'm just used to WASD. You can change this to however you feel more comfortable with. So I just keep the default settings and got used to them. But yeah, I know you can change this on a controller as well, but I just feel like you can buy a certain keyboard that's specifically designed for first-person shooters like Warzone. I know you can do that with the Scuff controllers and the Beaver controllers as well, but I just feel like having a better mouse and a better keyboard and all these extra settings just gives you more customization compared to controller players. So that's the first thing, the first pro right there. The second one I would say is that it's easier to move on keyboard and mouse. Like I used to play a controller at first, and then I switched to keyboard and mouse, and my movement has gotten a lot better. I can slide cancel pretty easily. I can turn around faster and do all sorts of things that I wasn't able to do on controller. But I know you can learn those things on controller as well. But I just found it a lot easier at the time to learn those on mouse and keyboard. I
Team
can obviously
deathmatch.
do it on controller now as
Get your
well,
teeth out.
but I just find it a lot easier to move around on mouse and keyboard than it is compared to a controller. So that's the second thing. And then the third one is a pretty big issue, I would say. Most people don't talk about it, but I would consider hand and wrist and finger pain a
Mission
a big
accomplished.
issue
Get back to
in
base.
gaming communities. I was part of the Super Smash Brothers Melee community for a time, and there were players who would play with controllers certain ways, and then they would have wrist pain, finger pain, hand pain. They would have to stretch before games. Some of them even had to get surgery, or one of them got surgery, and the surgery didn't even work, and he had to like create his own keyboard that was similar to the controller to continue playing. So I feel like when you use a keyboard and mouse, you don't have that finger pain. Your fingers aren't stiff as much compared to controller players. Controller players have to hold the controller like this, and if you stay like this too long, your fingers are gonna hurt. But if you're playing with mouse and keyboard, my fingers are usually straight, and I just move my wrist a little bit, and that's about it. So I think that's another pro for mouse and keyboard players. They don't have to worry about wrist pain or hand pain or finger pain as much compared to controller players. And then another pro for keyboard and mouse players would be that you can improve your hand-eye skills, hand-eye coordination, and skills through training. So there's something called AimLabs. You can use that, download that program, train, and you'll improve your skills a lot quicker that way. And the final pro I would say is that you can transfer over your skills from Warzone on mouse and keyboard to any other first-person shooter game with mouse and keyboard. Whereas if you're playing controller, you can't really transfer over your skills to a another first-person shooter game. Like the button layout might be different, the game might be different, but the skills you learn with mouse and keyboard can be transferred over to other FPS games because they all require the same skills: hand-eye coordination, flicking targets, etc., etc. So that's the last pro I would say for mouse and keyboard players. And then let's talk about the cons now. So some of the cons, I would say it's harder to get used to. So at first it was kind of difficult playing mouse and keyboard because I was a controller player all my life. I played Halo with controller. I grew up playing Call of Duty on controller, so I was never used to playing first-person shooters with a mouse and keyboard. I never really played I never played other FPS games on mouse and keyboard, so this was totally new to me. So making the switch over was completely new, and it took me a little bit more time to get used to it. And then I would say another con is you need more space to move your mouse. So I noticed I've been having this problem recently. I can't really move my mouse as much as I would like because I don't have too much space on my desk where my mouse and keyboard is. So I'm having a hard time flicking. Not really flicking, but like just moving, following the target, I would say. Like tracking targets is difficult for me because if I try to track targets going from right to left on my screen, I have less space on my mouse pad towards the left of my mouse. So if I go left, I hit my keyboard and it stops me from continuing to move over. Same thing with the right side, but not as much. There's more space on my right side. I can turn more to the right because there's nothing there. My keyboard isn't there. So that's one issue that I think mouse and keyboard players have. You can just easily fix that issue by getting a desk that is more comfortable for you. And then the last con I would say is that there's no aim assist, which is absolutely huge in my opinion. When I'm doing close range battles like this, and I don't have aim assist, it's kind of really hard for me to track my opponents and hit them correctly because I was always used to aim assist, and aim assist just makes it so much easier for you to win close-up battles. Like for example, hold on, I'm blind right now. But if I were to slide into the guy like this, past him on controller, it would just automatically, aim assist would automatically turn and follow him. Whereas on mouse and keyboard, I have to do that manually. So it's a lot more difficult. I'm trying to get better at it, trying to get used to it. So yeah, that's just a really huge issue right now, that there's no aim assist for mouse and keyboard. But I get it, like aim assist for controller players is what closes the gap for them, so to make it a little bit more manageable fighting keyboard and mouse players. So I understand it, but I just like imagine if mouse and keyboard players had that, they would be absolutely unstoppable. I think they do have that. Like there's a program you can trick your computer into thinking you're using a controller, but you're actually using your mouse and keyboard. I don't know how to do that, but I've heard that you can do that, which is kind of unfair. Now let's talk about the controller pros and cons, and I'm going to switch to my controller now. Alright, so here we are on my controller right now. My PS4 controller from a long time ago. My wire keeps disconnecting. So let's just talk about the pros and cons of controller players. So the first pro I would say is aim assist. That's obviously the biggest pro that controller players have compared to keyboard and mouse players for Warzone, that they have aim assist. So like I was showing you before, when you slide past someone with controller and mouse, you have to manually turn and face your opponent. Whereas with mouse and keyboard, it's just, I mean, with controller, it's so much easier. So I'll try to show that right now. I haven't played with a controller in so long. So I want to slide someone. Look at that. You saw how my guy was like low right here? That was because of aim assist right there. Like, I'm not even holding my right analog stick, and you can feel the aim assist like cracking them. It's actually crazy. It like slows down your screen. Like, if you can like feel it cracking him through this pillar right here. I'm not even moving my right analog stick. So let's see if I can slide past him. So it turned a little bit right there, but like before, you can just feel it targeting your opponent. Like, it's so crazy. You don't even have to see your opponent, but you can feel it targeting your opponent through a wall. Like right here, it's targeting. It's so crazy. So yeah, one huge benefit for controllers is that they have aim assist. It's actually super insane. Like, coming from keyboard and mouse now to a controller, like, you can feel the aim assist. It's actually insane. Like, look how my guy moves so much slower here when he locks on. Look at this. This is aim assist right here. I'm moving the same as I was before, but aim assist is locked on right now, and I have him in my crosshair. It's so insane. Where did this guy go? Like right here. He's right here. I can feel him before I even see him. It's so crazy. Like, that's actually insane. Alright, so aim assist is huge. We talked about that. Now let's talk about another pro. It's easier to use. So controller is easier to use at first, since people grew up playing Call of Duty with controller. So it's not really hard to learn. The Call of Duty series came out on Xbox and PS4 a long time ago, and it had it only had mouse. I mean, it only had controller. So like, people just grew up 10 years playing this game with the controller. So like, there's no way they can learn something else, or they're really good with controller. It's not even worth picking up mouse and keyboard for them. So that's another huge pro right there. Let's talk about the cons. So like I said before, the cons are you have wrist pain, hand pain, finger pain. Like, I see people playing with a claw grip like this. Like, I don't know how people play like this. This claw grip exists in other games that I used to play, like Super Smash Bros. Melee. But like, I can't play like this. My right index finger hurts after like 30 seconds of doing this. So I don't know how people play like this all the time. I know it's better to play that way than the standard way, because you need to have your right thumb on moving your crosshairs. So I understand it, but like, I just can't do that. I've been playing like the regular grip for so long that it's not even worth switching to that grip for me. And it's not like I play with the controller anyway anymore, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, wrist pain, hand pain, finger pain, that's a huge issue. Not just in Call of Duty, but in all gaming communities that have controllers. There's a lot more wrist pain and hand pain compared to mouse and keyboard games, I would say. Another con is you need to learn different grips. Like I just said, the claw grip, you have to learn that if you want to be a top player in Call of Duty Warzone. You have to learn that, or else you're going to be putting yourself at a disadvantage in gunfights. And it's just something hard to learn if you've been playing Call of Duty the normal way, like this, for 10 years. and then you have to switch to like this. It's just really hard to learn.
Okay.
And then the final con I would say for controller is that flicking targets is a lot harder. You can't really flick targets as well compared to mouse and keyboard. Mouse and keyboard, you just look and turn, and it flicks to wherever the target is, because you have better hand-eye coordination that way. But in this game, with the controller, it's a lot harder, I feel like. I'm stunned. Like, if I'm looking here and I wanted to flick to someone, it's just... I feel like the flick is so much slower. That might be because my sensitivity's on really low. But, in general, I still think it's just slower. Like, if I'm here and I see a target, it's too slow for me to flick. But I guess you get used to that when you have higher sensitivity and you've been playing on controller a lot longer. So now for the big question, the final question.
Almost out.
Which is better? Controller or mouse and keyboard for Call of Duty Warzone? For Call of Duty Warzone, I would say controller is better. Now, I'm going to say controller because of the aim assist, and because you can get one of those really good controllers, customized controllers, and adjust them to the way you want to play the game, have more sensitivity, have the better grip style, etc., etc. I would say controller is better for Call of Duty only, since Call of Duty was mainly a game that requires controller players. I would say for that, its controller is specifically better. However, if you're gonna play other first-person shooter games, then I would suggest playing with a mouse and keyboard, because those skills you learn from mouse and keyboard can transfer over to almost any other mouse and keyboard FPS game that is out right now. But if you're only gonna play Warzone and Call of Duty, then stick with controller. That's the main thing everyone does anyway, for the most part. Since aim assist is so huge, it's better to stick with controller for Call of Duty Warzone. Even though you have to learn how to hold the remote correctly, but it's worth it when you have aim assist. I think aim assist just changes the game completely for controller players. If you're really good at controller, you should have no problem fighting other good players on mouse and keyboard. So yeah, that's my video for today. I hope you guys found it informative.
Easy prey, easy day.
I created a short video the other day, and now I woke up to having 150,000 views on it and 100 plus new subscribers, so I really appreciate that. And if you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on Twitch, there's a link in the description below. Like this video, share this video with someone you know, and let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Do you think keyboard and mouse is better for Call of Duty Warzone, or controller for Call of Duty Warzone? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll try to answer back as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Peace.
So we chop it, so we do it. This is when you come feel like down the street, alright. So we chop it, so we do it. Down down we a lock down the street. So we chop it, so we do it. This is when you come feel like down the street. All I'm full of big up plate.